Here we are.
What's up?
We did it.
We made it.
Episode 100.
We survived.
Comically Gaming episode 100. Welcome, everybody. How we doing?
Yeah.
Good.
Whoa.
It's real.
Cold.
Corey's
Snowy.
the blizzard
Yeah, no
in
heat.
Michigan, you might have heard.
Yeah.
It's not
Luckily,
blizzard, it's an ice storm.
yeah, ice storm. The
I
power
had
came
to
on an
blizzard.
hour before the show, so just barely made it.
Thank God we had power, right?
Yep.
So,
We're
man.
pumped.
want to start by saying thanks to Preston from Bone Bad to the Bone for that graphic at the end of the credits there.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Real
bud.
quick.
Preston, we love you.
Yeah, definitely. And before we get into the show, want to pop over to our two greatest, most long-term Patreon supporters.
It's that guy Kent and Deborah.
Here we go.
Happy 100th episode! Congratulations, boys!
Thanks so much for that, guys.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
God.
Man, I love that.
Tear.
I
Tear
love
from my eye.
it.
Too bad they love
They're-
Nate more than they love Corey.
No, I'm the number one son.
I was a better kid. What can we say? So, everybody, this is it. 100 episodes in. I seriously didn't really think we'd make it here, and let alone have over 1,400 subscribers, right?
Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
We popping the sucker at the same
What
time?
you got, a little mini one?
Yeah, I got La Marca Prosecco.
All right, I got some
Prosecco.
Frixine. That's my preferred $10 champagne of choice.
To make Nate holla.
Yeah, it's only brute. I hate sweet wines. I hate
Yep.
sweet any drinks, to be honest.
Looks like Dirk can't open
Any
his.
sort. I can't
No,
open
it's
mine.
just
Oh.
it's a twist off.
Would you like to sniff the bottle cap? What's that quote from, Jeff? You're the movie
I
quote
don't
guy.
remember. Would
I
you
got
like
to
to
my Dairyman's.
Nice. It's the Muppet movie. That's
Oh.
Steve Martin when Miss
Ah.
Piggy and
Oh,
Kermit
yes.
go out for dinner together. Damn, I can't get this little bitch.
Twist.
Ugh, God.
Twist.
Wow.
You guys
Wow.
take it
Good
away. I'm gonna
bad.
work on this.
Well, Nate
I
has
gotta
technical
shoot here.
difficulties.
So why
Dirk
doesn't
just has the
somebody
twist off.
kind of explain the premise of the show? What we're doing here?
So, in celebration for our 100th episode, we have lined up all our guests in the past 99 episodes. So tonight you are going to be graced with some of our most esteemed guests. And I don't want to spoil it, but
Just
it's
all.
going to be awesome.
Beautiful people.
Yeah, definitely. One of my favorite things about doing this, right, is the awesome people that we've met.
For sure.
We could have 20 subscribers, and I wouldn't care because we've had such a good time, hanging with everybody, checking out all their content and everything.
Definitely.
We might even have a lumberjack sighting tonight.
There you go.
Woo!
If he's done building this table.
1-0-0.
So we're going to forego the news, the spoilers, our regular content. Dirk, cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Fellas, cheers.
Cheers. Rest in
Cheers.
peace, Arlie Emery.
Yeah.
Oh.
Tip one out to him.
Oh.
I sent Jeff that news earlier. He's the
Drill
he's
sergeant
the
from Full Metal
sergeant.
Jacket.
Yeah, the sergeant from Full Metal
Oh, he
Jacket.
died?
Corey,
He died
yeah.
at 74, yeah.
Corey, if
Seen
you
it.
saw him, you would, even if
You
you
would
haven't
know.
seen that movie, you'd know him because he's
You've
in
never
a
seen
ton of
Full
other
Metal
stuff.
Jacket?
Come on,
I think
Corey.
I've seen parts of it.
Dude.
He's in a ton of other stuff as that character.
Yeah.
Yep,
He did a show called Mail Call a while back where he talked about different stuff. Or
What's your major malfunction?
yep.
Private Snowball.
Primus did a song about him.
Oh, what's on?
All right. Should we get going? Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Corey got some books. I got some Christmas presents. Or Christmas. Birthday.
Birthday. Well, it is Christmas in Minnesota. We got 20 inches of snow.
Oh, Jeff got snow. In case you haven't heard yet.
My Facebook feed was just covered in snow the past
That's
few
that.
days. You
Those
know,
goggles are pretty sweet though.
don't
We had
miss
to
it.
take 20 inches.
Yep, so should
My kidneys hurt really bad.
we Should we kick it off here?
Let's do it.
Do it.
Let's get it rolling.
Do it.
Let's not pre-introduce guests. Let's just let it be a surprise every time.
All surprise. That's why I didn't spoil it, except
All
for
right.
Lubbock, because he doesn't matter.
All right, let's get to it. All right. So guest number one. Let's kick off
guest
the long night of reminiscing with our friends. Is Steph from the Not So Nerdy Nerd. Steph, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Congratulations on your 100 episodes.
Thank you.
That's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Appreciate having you on again. I think.
Oh, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we kind of, for most of our guests, we've been doing, or the plan was kind of to catch up with people that we haven't talked to in a while. You've been on the show just quite recently, right?
I know.
We kind of know what you've been up to. So yeah, just wanted to kind of, nothing scripted today, just hanging out with our friends. Do you have anything kind of coming up? Do you recent videos that you think people from our audience would be interested in, things like that?
Well, the video I have planned for next week is going to be kind of like a throwback, a movie review of Captain America: First Avenger.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So just kind of getting ready for Infinity War and stuff. So.
Right.
Yeah, so I'd been wanting to see it, and then like another YouTuber kind of buddy of mine asked if I wanted to do something for his channel, and I'm like, well, I've been wanting to rewatch this. This is totally perfect, because I definitely have no problem talking about Captain America. So it was my pleasure to rewatch that and do a video. So that's coming up next week.
Awesome.
Nice.
So I'm excited for that one. Yeah.
And we got Infinity War right around the corner. I'm sure that'll make an appearance on your channel as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I already have my ticket ready to go, so we can go see it opening weekend. Yeah, I cannot wait.
Same here. I saw there are a few places that are having Marvel marathons where they're playing everything in sequential order, like top to bottom. That's crazy.
I don't think I can do that. Does it go like overnight? Do you come back?
It's like I guess you go back and just
Well, there's no way I could sit through 30 plus hours straight.
I know. I'd like to say that I could, but I know myself, and there's no way I could. But it would be nice to think that I could do that.
Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
I'd really enjoy doing that like over a month.
Yeah,
I think that'd be perfect, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
And also like in my own house.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
Steph, I know on your channel you talk a lot about comic book TV shows as well. I just wanted to, we've been preaching off the mountaintop about Legion. You watch Legion at all?
Oh, you guys are, well, I don't know what you've been saying about it, but I cut out of that first season of that like halfway through.
You're one of them.
I know.
I am glad.
I heard such good things about it, so we started watching it, and I'm like, well, let me give it another episode. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just not getting it. And I just couldn't stick with it. And I shouldn't say halfway through. I think we made it up until like the last 2 episodes maybe of the first season. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't get into it.
You're not alone there. A lot of people are like that, but we love it around here.
Do you?
You.
You just
I've never seen
Me
it.
too. Jeff's the only one that doesn't like it. Let's.
I'm like me and Corey, the only ones who've seen Ready Player One. Even Steph has seen it.
Well, you can't say you don't like it, Jeff. You haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not paying money to watch it. I got too much stuff to do. Sorry.
Your excuses are gonna run out.
I know.
How about Han Solo? Did you see that trailer? I know you recently got into Star Wars. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I did see the trailer, and I feel like it's probably something that I'm going to go see, because I kind of feel like I have to, but it's not something that I'm, like, really excited to go see.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'll see it. And, I am new to all the Star Wars stuff, and I haven't been bored with any of it. And even if it's not, like, my top fandom thing, I definitely can see why people, get so into it. So I can appreciate that for sure about it.
So I got one more question, then I'll let these guys. I'll quit hogging the microphone here. But is that a Labyrinth shirt?
It is.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Where were you?
That's awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
Hang forever.
See, now Corey's got it right, because Corey has an unedited version of Star Wars on VHS,
Yeah,
which
got it.
I can't believe that.
With no VHS player yet.
I got a
don't have
VHS.
a VHS player.
Oh, wow.
Watch it.
You should be able to find that for like $2.
You can buy it for cheap.
Salvation Army.
Yeah, for sure.
That's where I found this. So.
Well,
25 cents.
I think we need to get Steph in here for our solo review, unless I'm the only one who watches it, and then it'll just be me, Stacy, and
No,
Casey.
I plan on watching it.
Solo?
We're all gonna watch Solo.
theater.
No, nobody's missing Solo, Jeff. Come on.
Oh my gosh, just coming to punch you jumping back on the bandwagon. Here goes Dave.
I don't think he was off of it. He just, Nate's not gonna miss a Star Wars movie in a theater.
No, he's a backseat driver, is what it is.
He can criticize it and still watch it.
Who's the biggest Star Wars fan out of you guys?
Oh, it's a tie between Nate and
well, tonight I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt, so I will.
I saw that.
they fight about it.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong.
I used to, when I was like 18, me and a bunch of friends all lived in the same apartment, and we all used to stay up all night long and then go to garage sales first thing on like Fridays, Saturdays mornings and whatnot. And we amassed this huge collection. It was before Star Wars kind of came back, before even the remakes of the first ones. And so it was, those toys were flooding garage sales at that time.
Yeah.
And, and then we set up, in my living room was the living room that was a place where like an entire wall was like dioramas, and we had the fishing wire hanging from the ceilings and all that stuff.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Who named the scooter club? You?
Yeah, Nate.
I was one of 4 founding fathers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The
So
Star
we
Wars
we
Scooter
were all
Club.
Star Wars nerds.
Jedi Knight Scooter Club. Yeah.
He has an X-Wing fighter on his forearm
That's true.
tattoo.
Oh, yeah?
Any Star Wars
Oh,
tattoos, Jeff?
cool.
No.
I think
I
you
got my
lost.
tattoos at a different time. It was all Navy related.
Gotta subtract some points there.
I make up for that.
I think I met Nate in 2001. Am I
Sounds
correct there? 2000, 2001, somewhere
I think
around
earlier
there.
than that, because I got married in
2000.
2001, and I feel like that was like 3 or 4 years after I met you.
Okay, so 99, early 2000.
Right.
That was one of the first identifiers for Nate was Star Wars.
Okay.
I had him in that file. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I kind of, if I'm honest, like I've walked it back a little bit at this point. Like,
Right.
I can see them for their flaws, especially after I'm not a fan of the prequels. I'm very anti-prequel, and and so whatever. I'm not diehard gonna get in arguments with people over things when they're probably not great anyways, but it's just one of those. I was born in 76, and so like my first like memories of Christmas as a teeny kid was like getting Star Wars toys and playing with them for weeks afterwards, and it kind of molded my life from there.
I saw them all in the theaters, so me and Nate.
Yeah, buddy.
Born a month apart.
So
I love it.
we're going to make all these conversations basically a little bit brief. Steph, you want to kind of go through where people can find you around the internet and your all your stuff?
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Raggedy Girl, RAGGETY Girl. And then my YouTube is Not So Nerdy Nerd. So you can head over there and check out my videos on that channel.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. We're all big supporters. I really like.
Yeah.
I gotta say, if I can push your stuff a little bit more, I really like that around the internet. It seems like a lot of people who are covering the type of things that we are very kind of typecast, like sarcastic millennials yelling at 10-year-olds and whatnot about it. And it's nice to find people who have content that's not that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's hard because there's so many people that do movie reviews and all that kind of stuff on like the same topic. So it's kind of hard to like be yourself, but then set yourself apart from like all the stuff that's out there. But, fortunately, fortunately and unfortunately, I'm gaining subscribers, which is really, really great. But I'm still small enough that I'm still experimenting and trying to figure out, like, who I am and what I want to put out there and that kind of thing. So it's kind of nice to kind of be in this spot where I can still figure that out a little bit without taking a big impact on my channel. So,
Yeah, when me and Corey started this whole thing, I might pull a clip from that first video to put
You need
in
to.
here somewhere, right? But it was
It was awesome.
Great.
You know, I'm sitting on the floor of a bedroom in an apartment I was in at the time, and no production at all, just straight up the video and whatnot. And we felt it was kind of more important to start kind of being talking heads and letting that part of it grow as well, while the production kind of grew in step. So I agree.
It really is a walk down memory lane if you go through all 99 episodes.
I couldn't stop watching them.
I know, I did.
When I was doing the research to find all the guests and everything, I just started watching like full episodes of the early stuff. It's like, this is crazy.
There was some really good stuff in there. It's like, wow.
All right. Well, thanks, Steph, for joining us. As always, we'll put links to all your stuff in the description of this video as well. So anybody listening to the audio version, please youtube.com/GCANDC, click description, and we'll have links to everybody in there. Go sub up Steph's channel.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming.
And congratulations again.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
We're back. Guest number 2 of the night. We brought Oliver in.
Oliver.
You may know him as What Up Now.
What up now?
I just I wanted to invite Oliver on for a couple minutes and maybe talk about the Midnight Mashers, because I feel like that's a big part of what we do as well.
Yeah, I remember that Battlefront 2 beta that we did.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh, I was in Vegas.
So just
I may have missed that night because I don't think I played Battlefront 2 beta.
Really?
No.
Really?
No, you remember him? He's our person that likes to race with us on Gran Turismo on Light Dirt.
Yep.
Dirk loves.
So, I just want to throw out there for everybody who watches the show, if you play PlayStation on Sunday nights, you can find us on the PlayStation playing games, and we try and do it with as many people as possible. We mix it up throughout the year.
For the sake of fun.
For the sake of fun, yep, exactly.
Yep.
And we call our group, wherever there's a game that you can have, like a clan or a group or whatever it is, it's called the Midnight Mashers, so you can find us on there, and everybody watching is invited to the Midnight Mashers.
Everybody.
It's awesome. It's
totally
awesome.
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter or by email or whatever, and we'll
Unless
get you
you're no
in.
fun, then we don't want to play with you.
Yeah. We also,
Unless you're Lumberjack, then we don't want to play.
Yeah.
and
Is
so
he coming on tonight? No.
he is.
Yeah.
We want to play with.
What? That's hilarious.
So yeah, just wanted to throw it out there. I know you play with us every week, sort of thing, and we have a good time doing that. So appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
On monsters.
Good times.
Even when it's 1 a.m. and Nate's like, "Hey, we're gonna be jumping on some Monster Hunter World," I'm like, "I'm asleep."
exactly.
Wait, Oliver, you were
Go ahead.
you were there for the raid, huh? The D2 raid, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we should probably get back to that at some point and finish that up.
We should.
That
I'm
was
down
the
with
running
doing
with
a
trash
show again.
raid.
Expansion's right around the corner, so
Yeah. Yep.
we'd be good. All right, well,
good
cool.
job.
Thank you. Thanks
right.
for coming on.
That's it.
Appreciate
then?
it.
All right,
Yep.
you guys. It's nice to see you.
Thanks, Oliver.
Thanks, Oliver.
Next,
What's up?
moving on to the next guest, we've got Scott joining us again from the Gaming Outsider.
What is going on, fellas?
What's
How you
up?
doing?
Man.
Congratulations on 100 episodes, guys. That's quite an accomplishment.
It
Yeah,
is.
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. It
Eddie's
does feel
pouring the
real.
wine, or what are you pouring there? What is that?
Yeah, we got
Champagne.
champagne.
Champagne, nice. I need to have a beer. I got a coffee mug. Is that good enough? There's
That
nothing
works.
in it, but I'll join the group. How about
That
that?
works. We got empty glass.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Scott, we're trying to kind of catch up with everybody. It's fun, kind of reminiscing, going through the old videos, and we wanted to have every guest back on. I had a
Sure.
great time talking with you before. Really like your podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I
and-
appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And
I agree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we all listen.
yeah, absolutely. It's one of I drive at work a lot, so
right.
I can consume a lot of podcasts, and Gaming Outsider is definitely on the must listen to each week list
Yes.
now. You guys have definitely moved up to that
Oh,
status.
that makes
so.
me
yeah.
feel really good, guys. Especially with all the changes we've been going through and the new crew and everything like that. So I'm really glad to hear that you like what's been going on. So we're
Yeah,
putting
definitely.
a lot of work into it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
great.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I love it because I can actually listen to that podcast with my son in a car who's 5, and I don't really have to worry about him hearing something, that he shouldn't be hearing. That's
he would hear
that's
on
why I
our
really
podcasts.
love it. Yeah.
I think there was a bitch in the last episode, actually.
There was. I was just gonna say, and I was gonna apologize for that. We didn't cut that one out. So every once in a while, one slips by. But I'm glad you said that, Jeff, because this past weekend, me and two of my guys, Chris and Chris, it sounds like a bad TV sitcom. Me and Chris went up to Milwaukee to this thing called the Midwest Gaming Classic.
Yeah.
And we actually talked about it on. It was a really cool experience. I got to meet John St. John.
Yeah, I saw that.
Of Duke Nukem. I got to meet Billy Mitchell. I got to meet Walter Day. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, we ran into a couple listeners, and one of them is this guy named Brian who lives in Milwaukee, and he brought his kid with him. Jack is like a 5th grader. And he said that one of my favorite things is I get to watch this with my son and I don't have to worry about it. There's so many game podcasts out there that just drop all this kind of language, and it's just natural for me. I mean, off air, guys, I swear I curse like a sailor. I mean, I really do. But,
I'm a sailor.
That's funny. That
you are a
Jeff
sailor.
Jeff is a sailor.
It's funny. I was when I was on your show. That really struck me. I was not expecting that. As soon as the camera stopped, it was like, boom! Whoa! What country did I just go into? That's funny.
Oh, I got to tell you too. Chris Berensmeyer is now a regular cast member on my show.
Yeah.
He is like super jealous that I got to be on your show before he did. And so, because apparently you guys have been talking before he was actually a part of our group or whatever. Yeah. And so this weekend he was one of the guys that went to the classic with me. And I said, hey, guess what, man? I'm going to do a podcast with Nate Kloster again this weekend. And those guys, he's like, get out of town. So now I've done 2 shows with you guys, and he hasn't yet. So suck it, CB. That's all I'm saying.
CB, it is not personal, and I am going to get you a date soon. So we'll get that done as well. His collection's unreal, huh? Like when he shares it on Facebook and whatnot, it's crazy.
Oh, my goodness. Wait till you see what he picked up this weekend at the classic, man. He got a copy of Little Samson.
Oh, nice.
Little Samson, and I'm not allowed to say how much he spent on it, but
I was gonna say, is it 6 figures or?
No, it's under 4. Believe it or not, it's under 4. But yeah, I was jumping around like a little kid, excited for him at this thing. You should have seen it. We actually just got done telling the story. It'll be on this week's episode, so you'll have to hear it. It'll be good.
Oh, nice. For sure. Looking forward to it. What I really love about your podcast is I sit there and I listen to it as I'm driving, and I end up talking to myself because I'm either agreeing or disagreeing, but I love the depth and the coverage that you and your whole new crew does for all the games. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, I cannot wait every week for you to release the next one so I can listen to it.
Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. We've done some restructuring of the format, and we try to keep it flowing, and I got to give a shout out to Christina, our producer, who is the one that's splicing everything together, because a lot of what you hear isn't all recorded at the same time. Yeah. We do some recording beforehand and afterwards, and she splices it all together and mixes it down, and she just learned how to do it about a month or 2 ago. So
she's great.
She's never done it before, and she's doing a bang-up job. So that's the Gaming Outsider. That's enough about me talking about myself. What about you guys? You've been doing this for 100 episodes now. So what's the plan for the future? I mean, congrats, right?
I don't even know.
Thanks. I feel like it's, kind of, we've taken a stance from the beginning where we just wanted to get out and start doing it and like practice live for everybody, so to speak. And so I think it's just a slow evolution, right? We try to rock the boat each time.
I think our personalities have turned into our currency a little bit.
Yeah.
It's sort of like what we shop even more than the content. I think it just became like sort of the de facto thing. We got to a point where when we talk our week and we share like what we did that week, that became like our favorite item to cover in the show, and it just became like front and center. So
and I'm finding that that's a lot of listeners' favorites as well. I personally, when I listen to podcasts, I don't like listening to what's going on with people's personal lives as much. And maybe it's just because I was a businessman. I was a banker for a while, and I consider myself super professional, and I just assume that people don't want to hear about personal stuff going on in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I record, I'm hosting, I'm always like trying to push us forward. And I had some good friends of mine that said, no, dude, let the podcast breathe. People are interested in some of that stuff. And I'm like, why? I'm just a regular dude like everybody else. Nobody cares, but they like hearing some of that. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think people kind of over time start to consider you as a friend. Like, you know, anybody who's listened to 100 episodes of this knows me and Corey pretty well at this point, right? Like, so I think that kind of, you know, people like that, you know, especially we're also busy and kind of our demographic where it's older people with families and, you know, maybe not being able to get out as much as they used to, you know, can feel like they're hanging out. Having a conversation for the week.
Just to give you another example, some good friends of mine have a podcast called Married to the Games, and it's Gabe Patello, who actually is one of the singers for Toby Mac, and they do a video game podcast. My wife doesn't play video games; she doesn't like it, but she listens to the show every week because their personalities are so interesting, and she's met them in person, and she feels like she's friends with them, you know. So That's awesome. A lot of their podcast is, you know, here's what's going on in their lives. Here's Piper's topic of the week. Piper is one of their daughter's names. She always like gives them a topic to talk about. You know, that's the kind of stuff that some people like. So yeah.
Nice.
Well, we've definitely gone through. It's been weird if watching, because me and Dirk, we researched it's over 100 episodes actually, even because we were getting all our guests that we were looking for. And it's funny to watch the evolution of how Corey and Nate have gone through the first probably 50 episodes. And when me and Dirk started jumping on more and more, it sort of evolved because we used to have separate news for Star Wars. Yeah. And over time, we've just sort of become what it is now today. And it's
you always got to be growing. One of my favorite quotes says, and I'm gonna paraphrase it, I'm gonna probably say it wrong, but there's nothing noble in being superior to your fellow man. True nobility lies in being superior to your former self. Sure. So as long as you're better than you were yesterday, you're going in the right direction. That's what matters. And it sounds like you guys are doing just that. So kudos to you guys.
Nice.
Thank you.
So the one last thing I just wanted to say, Scott, your other podcast, The Hollywood Outsider.
Yes.
Clearly, you're a big movie fan. We're coming up on this. Infinity War, Deadpool, Solo, back to back. Like, are you stoked for this? Are you ready?
You mean the unofficial kickoff to summer? Is that what you're talking about? Because that's what it is. I am. Actually, I've stepped back away from the Hollywood Outsider a little bit. I'm not actually a regular on that anymore, just because I'm going through my master's degree right now, and I'm running. I was doing a podcast, and I'm also running a DJ business, and something had to give. Sure. And I'm not like, it wasn't like bad terms or anything like that, but I still like movies. I actually went and saw a movie today, but yeah, I'm definitely stoked. I think I'm more excited for Solo out of all three of them, which I might be in the minority because people are saying a lot of bad things about that movie. I'm really hopeful.
Those two are saying no.
I think it looks good. I just don't like that guy as Han.
Well, that's the thing is he's like,
it looks awesome.
He's the least exciting thing about those trailers. I want to see all the other characters and Chewie and all that kind of stuff. Right.
But, I think that's what excites me is seeing Chewie, because they're going to tell more Chewie's story.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. That and Lando. Lando, I think, looks even more interesting than Chewie.
And I agree. I think that Donald Glover is actually going to make a great Lando Calrissian.
I hope just like him.
Even before you knew who it was in the trailer, before they announced, when I watched the first trailer and they showed the back of him, I knew exactly that was Lando. I knew who it was, and I was like, he's going to do a great job, I think.
Well, it's the cape. Kind of gives it away.
We got to move on. Get to the next.
All right, sounds good.
Scott, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Scott.
Tell everybody where they can find your stuff.
Our website is thegamingoutsider.com. We actually do written reviews as well and editorials, so be sure to check out those. Our Twitter handle is @thegocast, and you can also listen to our podcast pretty much everywhere: iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. So be sure to check us out, and please interact with us on our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/thegocast. We'd love to have you. We got about 930-something members right now, so we'd love to have you.
All right. Well, thanks again, Scott. We'll talk to you.
Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful evening, guys.
CB, we're getting you on here.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Yep. Bye.
All right. We're back with Scotty. What's up, Scotty?
What's up, Scotty?
What's cracking?
Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, congratulations, fellas.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. The a lot of people on today's show we're talking to, we're kind of catching up from because we've talked to them like a year ago or something like that. You were just on the show. So
Yeah,
we can just
seems
bullshit
like yesterday.
about whatever today, right?
Okay, yeah, whatever you're feeling, man.
So,
I was thinking, you signed me up for this, and I'm thinking the other day, oh my god, I have no idea what the premise is. I don't know what people talk to, you about before I got on it.
Neither do we.
What am I going to talk about? And it hit me, man. I'm like, Jumpman, King's Quest, Carmen Sandiego. I'm taking it way back.
nice.
1980s. Like, I remember watching that 64K load on the Apple IIe or whatever, like start your system.
Dude, have you seen they have the handheld Oregon Trails now?
I saw it.
No.
Yeah, it's
That's
hot.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I checked out a new barcade south of Denver, and I went in the bathroom, and it said, "You've died of dysentery," and it was like in cross stitch.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Super
I'll
awesome.
say, Scotty, I'll throw it out there from what you just mentioned there. The one that had the biggest impact on me was King's Quest 1.
Oh, yeah.
Back in those days, our dad worked at a computer store as a salesman, and so we were up to date when the Apple IIc and Apple IIe were kicking it. We had them pretty early, and King's Quest was the first. My dad was always into games. He always had something for us, but he was really, he wanted the baseball game and maybe hockey, you know what I mean? And so King's Quest was like really just blew my mind for, my introduction to role-playing games. It was so cool.
Right. You're like, what is this mutton? I got to, read up on this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had it. My dad was, ahead of the curve in, the early 80s. He had an IBM PC Junior.
Nice.
His brother worked for IBM, and he sent him one. It was probably like a $5,000 machine back then. And you would watch the K load. It would take, 3 minutes for it to load up, 64K of RAM.
Yeah.
The thing's just crawling along. But King's Quest was a blast. It was cool because you really got into the story, and you're watching this little 2-bit animation of a dude walk around, and it was in 3D. It wasn't 2D like a lot of the early Nintendo stuff. It was, you were walking in 3 dimension, and you had to go and gather things and do things. It was a fun game.
Yeah, definitely. And somehow, easy enough, I beat it. I remember the ending and stuff, getting to that dragon and whatnot. And
right.
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
I think it was a good mix of, it wasn't the fact that it was difficult. It was just kind of a long, cool story, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what my other early influences were. Is my grandfather had a Macintosh, the original single unit monitor, computer, disk,
Yeah.
Mini floppy drive and everything all in one. And he had Jumpman on there, and I would sit and play that endlessly trying to get Jump. And it was like Pong, right? There was no development of the story. It just got faster, so it was more difficult because you're going faster. You had to jump farther or whatever. It was just totally stupid, but fun.
Yeah. You bring up that
Go ahead.
Macintosh, the coffee shop that me and Dirk used to work at, we had nicknames for all the customers that they didn't know about. And there was a lady that we called Scooter Computer, and she would ride a little Honda Spree with a milk basket on the back of it with a full one of those, the Mac Classic, in it. And she'd come set that up in the coffee shop and plug it in and word processing or whatever.
Oh man, she was ahead of her time. Remember
Yeah.
Meister and those guys were on the LAN parties where they bring their iMacs, set them all up in a LAN ring so they could all play together.
I think some of my earliest memories of video games on a computer was playing Buck Rogers on an old Atom computer that was made by Commodore. And it was the ones that are on the digital cassette tapes.
Right.
Oh,
And,
sure.
Man. Fun time. And then the tape broke, and I thought if I spliced it back together with tape, it would play. And I would try and fast forward it past that point, try and get it to load. Didn't understand it, anything about it. But
Corey, what's your earliest memories?
My earliest memories
For video
probably NES, probably Windows 95.
Miss.
Stick to that pinball, miss.
You were kind
Windows
of a
95
Game Boy guy
man.
too, weren't you? Like I remember.
I
you
had
rocking
the original
pretty
Game
hard.
Boy. Yeah, I played the shit out of it.
When you can see the screen.
I mean, my like first
You
like
hold
system
it
that I
just
really,
right.
I mean, Sega was like my first like system, Sega Genesis. I mean, we had SNES or we had NES, not a Super,
Right.
but
Wow.
I mean, Sega was like my first main system that I played a lot.
Hell yeah.
All the good shit.
You didn't
So-
have a Neo Geo?
Wow. Yeah.
Scotty, we just got a couple minutes left. I know, you're in the Jedi Knight Scooter Club, big Star Wars
Yeah.
fan. You got the Tusken Raider in front of you. What
Right.
are you thinking about Solo as we're a couple weeks out at this point?
Well, I'm like one of these dudes that tries to stay totally ignorant of it, and I'm
Okay.
pretty good at just being ignorant. So I just play stupid and avoid all of it as far as I can. I mean, I'm like, trailer, what's over there? Like, it's like I avoid everything. So I'm a blank slate at this point. I'm excited, but not overexcited. And that way, it's like if you're a pessimist, you go to a party, you're like, oh, potato chips, sweet. It's like whatever. And I'm excited, but we'll see. I'm hesitantly excited, I should
Sure.
say.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anxiously optimistic.
Anxiously optimistic. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
it.
Scotty. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Really
Scott.
appreciate it.
Thanks,
I think,
Scott.
Yeah.
Nate was talking to me earlier about wanting to get together and maybe go more in depth on particular pinball tables in the future.
Sure.
So let's
Yeah,
rock
I'd
that
like that.
someday. Yeah.
We could do like a classics breakout where we take the top four, top five, Williams
Totally.
Valley's classic here and get into there and start there. But yeah, I love it.
Awesome.
Congrats to you guys in the podcast going the distance, and here's to many more.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we got Adam.
What's up?
Hey guys, what up, Adam? Adam's Nate's buddy, but
I think I can be friends with all of you guys.
My first experience with him was at Mayhem. He ran up to us and said, "We got to go."
Oh
hit
yeah.
this gym. So we played Pokemon Go together, hung out at
Yep.
Mayhem. Great time. Are you still playing?
I am. I actually never stopped. So
Did you do community day today?
I did do community day, and it was funny because there was a Trump rally, a Trump support rally, while we were out catching all the Mareeps.
You're shiny.
So I got 3 shiny, so I got one
Damn.
shiny of every evolution. And I snapped 2 photos while I was out today because there were more people out for Pokemon Community Day than there were for the Trump rally, which was pretty. It gives me a little hope.
That's awesome.
And then tonight, news at 11. Look at all the people at the Trump rally.
Yeah,
Did you
right.
guys
Yeah,
play
like,
Pokemon?
they're all staring at their phone, looking down. We made sure that they knew that they weren't with us. We took a knee during the anthem just so they'd know.
All right. So the other thing, when you joined us before, we had you on to talk board games. You got anything new and hot, exciting with board games going on lately?
Well, I do. I've got. If I can do this, can you see? Code names.
Okay.
It's a party game.
Ah.
Number 1 party game on Board Game Geek right now.
Oh, yeah,
We
I
got
saw
that. And we also have the dirty version.
Nice.
So that one's pretty fun if there's no kids around. That's really the only board game news that I have that I think is worth updating. So it's a little hard to explain. So you lay out 25 cards, and there's 2 teams. You have a spy master. They get a little grid that's 5 by 5, and you have to say you get to say one word, and then try to get as many words as you can that are on the grid. So it's like this interesting word association.
Okay.
One of the cards is an assassin. If you pick that, the game's over. If you pick somebody else's card, they get the point, but then that turn is over, and there's innocent bystanders. So it's just you run through a round real quick. It's a really simple game. It's just really fun especially for like non-board gamers. I think it's a nice bridge for for people that want to play something that's more than Clue or Candyland or whatever.
Sure.
But it's still, it's sort of dancing on the edge of nerdy board games, but it's still fun for actual gamers too. So
Nice.
yeah, we went out and picked up the regular one and then got the dirty one, and there's a couple more versions, but highly recommend. And it's cheap. It's like $20.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of board games, next time we do Imperial Salt Night, I now got Leia.
Oh, a Disney princess.
Yep.
No,
Exactly.
never a Disney princess. So wrong on so many levels.
So how much time do I got left here, guys?
You're halfway through.
As much.
Okay.
5 more minutes.
So we should talk about all the updates from on Pokemon Go from last time we chatted. There's weather boost on things. So now, depending on your local weather forecast, it'll make different Pokemon spawn more. They get stronger. They'll have better moves. So like when it rains here, I run out and get soaking wet looking for low toads.
Freezing rain today for community day.
Oh,
so
did you get out and did you get all your shinies?
No, I didn't get any shinies.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It was.
I had so they're doing. I don't remember the last time. Did they already change the gyms to where there were raids last time?
I don't think so.
I don't think when you were on the show.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So now a giant Pokemon takes over a gym. Get a bunch of people to go battle it. So that's nice if you're having trouble finding something and you see it in the gym. You can grab a couple friends, go take it down and catch that one. And then there's exclusive raid passes now. If you win, so you go and battle in a raid, and if you ran, it is kind of random, but you have to win a raid battle, and then if that was the selected gym, they give you a exclusive raid pass, and the exclusive raid pass is the only way that you can go and catch the Mewtwo. So I did that on Saturday. I did that yesterday on Saturday, and because it was windy, I think it was wind. It was windy. The Mewtwo I caught was weather boosted, so it's almost 300 CP or 3,000 CP. So I used that today when we were out battling. And the other thing they added were research tasks. So there's like a set of 3 tasks now.
That's brand new.
Yeah, that's brand new. That just came out, and that's kind of nice because like I just ticked over to level 38, so the goals are seemingly years in the future. And mathematically, when you hit level 38, you're halfway to level 40 as far as XP goes. So I've been playing. I know. I'm like it's. So these are nice now. The little research tasks. So you,
and it has the mythical
you can
discovery too.
Yeah, and I did that one. I finished that one off last week, and I got my Mew. So
right
you
now,
did? Yeah. So if anyone has finished that, they have a Mew, and you can only do it once. So everyone has
Mew. I don't have
it. It's fine. It's more of a collector's thing. Mine's a 1600-ish CP, so it's not nothing. And you can't get candy for it unless you make it your buddy and walk with it, and that's going to be just kilometers. Candy. But I'm using that for stuff I want to actually battle with. I got all these legendaries. That's a nice thing too. If you missed it, I haven't missed any legendaries yet. But if you do, now you can get them through the field research. So you got a chance. So it doesn't seem so like if you missed out, you're just out.
Yeah.
So that's good. So I think I like it. A lot of people had quit playing when they hit right around when level 25 or so. I think Nate was one of those. And and now with the new features, I think a lot of people are coming back.
Yeah, so, that's me. I just came back like a month ago. So
Corey
it's pretty.
How it's kind of cool how the community is now. Whereas before, you just go out and people were everywhere. Now it's like groups that are meeting on like Discord and things like that, and scheduling things for the raid. So that's kind of appealing to me.
Totally.
Yeah, you guys might.
I'm on the Colorado Springs Discord and the Denver Discord. So I actually just got back from France for work, and I looked at the Paris Discord while I was there, but I couldn't understand anything. So.
Sure.
But I did get it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a couple of Mr. Mimes while I was over there. So
that's
now
awesome.
Gen 1, the only thing that I'm missing is the one you get in Australia.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
That's
All right.
Hardcore.
So
Time
that's
to
all I
plan a
got.
trip to Australia.
Yeah, thanks for joining
Yeah, I
us, Adam.
should. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll get you back on to talk board games again sometime soon.
All right, sounds good. Well, when we do Pandemic Legacy.
There you go.
All right.
I'm so
There you
jealous. All right.
Have a good night, guys.
All right.
Later.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. And without further ado, we have Adam, better known as Lumberjack,
Adam.
who officially became a true lumberjack because he built a table from scratch. And if it hadn't been for the pictures on Facebook, I would never have believed it.
I sleep all night and I work all day.
So
I travel 500 miles to give you my seed.
I'm going all laying on the floor.
What?
Wait, what?
Go to the garage tomorrow and it's all laying on the floor.
nice. So how you doing, Adam? I know you're usually when you've been on in the past, we've talked about a lot about sports games. How's MLB the Show?
It's fantastic. You know, there's always the little quirks that I can complain about, but by far the best baseball game out there.
Well, the only one. Oh no, I guess that other. What's that terrible one that they put out every year?
MLB 2K or what is that?
It's not 2K.
Jeez, I didn't even know there was another one.
There's the other one. I mean, they tried to get sales up a few years ago. They were giving away $1 million for the first person that threw a
perfect game.
Perfect game.
Yeah.
RBI baseball.
RBI. Wow.
Yeah, RBI. It is RBI baseball. That's
Is
the
it?
terrible one. Yeah, that's the one that's awful. Man, it's crazy
Dang.
that they do that.
Adam
So
was on a show has no name too. He's not just sports.
Oh, that's right.
That's true. Yeah.
Now we
Wow.
gotta wait friggin' year and a half to watch it again.
Well, yeah. Do that counter on Facebook. What are we at now?
I don't know.
395 days.
Is it?
I don't know. It's a lot. It's a long, long time from now.
It is.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, I'm happy to be here, and I just congratulate every one of you on your 100 shows.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud.
Big accomplishment, all the followers you guys are getting. You guys are doing good things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Afraid to race us.
You do got to kick back in for that.
Me and Nate will have to, when it's your live Twitch, I know I missed the last time, or the live stream.
Well, we race every Sunday.
Let's have jobs that we have to get up at like 4 in the morning.
He's got a point. You have a very strong point
He
there.
does have a very strong point.
Exactly. So, Adam, the other thing I was going to say is me and you were talking the other day about God of War. Why don't you share with everybody your God of War plans?
My God of War, I built the table today, and I will be having the whole day off when God of War comes out to sit there and just play it all day long.
Nice.
That's by far my favorite franchise game above all of them. I don't know what, I like the puzzles in it. I like the fighting in it. I like him grunting the whole time he's fighting.
Dude, I think this is going to be that on steroids. From what I've been reading, this is like, if you're happy with that franchise, this is it times, 1,000. I mean, it's just out the water.
I think it's going to be interesting because I believe they're going now more towards the Norse gods. So
Yeah.
I'm real interested to see how that goes and where they go with that.
I'm just curious, how they write the story of him swapping from the pantheons.
I don't think they will. I think he's just going to, maybe. I don't know. They
Yeah,
said
just
that he's
ignore it.
more morose in this game. He's not as angry. He's
Right.
more of a, a somber tone.
His son is in the game, and I'm not sure we ever clarified on where the son came from, or maybe his wife part of the north side, and that's, his son's going that way. Something like that is what I'll imagine it'll be, where it'll come from.
It looks different. It looks like it's third person though. Like God of War 3, there isn't really third person. Sometimes you're running around levels and stuff, and looks like you're behind him in this. It looks different than God of War 3.
Yeah, I was
for
listening.
sure.
I was listening to an interview where they said that they also did. They're doing a camera where the whole game is a one cut. Like it'll never swap for cutscenes or anything like that. It would be if you played it from start to beginning without dying, it would just be one cut behind you for the whole thing. I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
I'll attempt that. Just play it all the way through in one sitting and see what happens.
I don't know if there's any credence to this, but they mentioned that there's a possibility that they'll be tackling future, like, other mythologies in future installments.
Yeah,
like
I heard that too.
Egyptian, Aztec, I think. It's going to get crazy if that's the route they go.
If they do that, they can take all my money.
Yeah, I know. Oh, shit. I love that idea, man. I love mythology. I crush on it hard, so I'm all about it.
I just hope they get rid of the cringy sex scenes.
Yeah, there's always at least
like.
Well, there's better still have sex scenes. It's just not cringy.
Well, I have yet to see anybody pull that off, so at this point I'd rather
Gerald,
just not have it. No, they look terrible. They looked awful.
Get out of here.
There's way
the unicorn.
Way bad collision detection on that sex.
Larry pulled it off all right.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be a bad game.
That's funny. All right, so I guess the one other thing is I'm going to commit here to everybody, this being Comically Gaming, episode 100, write it down. I'm going to start the Rory League.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
What?
I'm going to do it. Don't quote me on a date. I got a lot going on, but it's going to happen here.
Wait,
How
about June 24th? June 24th, Nate. How about, does that work? Is that a Sunday?
That works for me.
I'm down for whatever.
Actually, I'm flying to Florida. What?
Corey, what 33-2 against Closters in a row?
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure both of those losses were to Nate, so I think I'm under.
No,
Right.
I've beaten you before.
That's funny. So, yeah, for everybody that's watching, we're going to get what's the last golf game that EA put out is the Rory McIlroy Tour. I think we all got it on sale for like $10 or something like that.
Yeah.
If everybody wants to play with us. The way that we do this is we set a week time limit and say turn your scores and play one round. And we're going by the honor system that you're not just going to cheat and start over a bunch of times. Once you decide this is my round, then you got to play it through and post the score. And then we do a little league where we keep track of that over a few months. Declare champion at the end.
That was a great debate.
Adam, I'm still playing everybody's golf, like every day.
I haven't been. I've been playing MLB so much I haven't been able to play it, but I do want to get back into it to keep going after those extra characters at the end.
We got it. I completed all 700. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
My gallery's full. Yeah. Well, the wife is into it, so that's what makes it easy. Like she requests to play daily, so it's like, all right.
Nice.
Well, and since Nate's saying stuff, I will say right here on Comically Gaming 100, if Corey plays a full season of what we start, I have a $20 PlayStation gift card.
Nice.
All right.
You gotta do it, man.
I played a full season in everybody's golf.
To his point,
You didn't want to.
he couldn't get past, so I understood.
That's funny. All right. Well, Adam, thanks for joining us. We have a lot of fun with you. Adam's also a member of the Mashers. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Love you,
last update, 380 days till Game of Thrones when we release this video.
There you go.
Till Jon Snow dies.
There you go. All right, Adam. Have a good night.
No, Jon Snow's right outside my fucking window because it's still snowing.
Hey, they could have filmed it in Minnesota right now.
They could have.
Months.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear it snowing there?
Winter is still there.
15 inches.
All right. See you, Adam.
All right, see you guys.
Later, man.
Peace. All right, everybody. This segment we are going to dedicate to the numerous people that have been supporters from 11th Lifers, the Midnight Mashers, YouTube, and Twitter. And I'm going to start out with the folks that join us on a pretty much every weekly basis for the 11th Lifers, whether it's the Lost Mines of Foundalver, which Nate is running, or Curse of Strahd, which we've been doing for over a year now with Dirk. And those folks are Amy, Nate's better half, and then we got Josh, And then we got Pete, who's an Eagles fan, but I don't hold it against him.
Yeah, thanks guys so much. We really
Yarwin,
appreciate playing with you guys.
Merla, and Stylid.
Yeah. And then Horrence and no. I don't know the name.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I got the Mashers, our Sunday night gaming crew. Got Oliver, JD, Pete, Adam, Jeff, Jeremy, and Jack. Thanks, guys. We love playing games with you.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said earlier when Oliver was on, anybody else, if you're free Sunday nights, that's when we're doing it. We record this show kind of in the middle of it, but we're playing games before, we're playing games after. Hit us up for some Sunday night PlayStation 4 fun.
Yeah, so I wanted to give a shout out to, well, first of all, the IG people, all the Instagrammers that follow us. I have the Arcane Forge, Annie Matavos, Janelle Ame, Alex Ogle, Omnisek actually follows us on there, Chantal Laura Hanley, Mars 2000, and Shady Gamers. A few of those pop up in other areas as well. But and then also the YouTube people that we get into really great conversations with in the comment section. Can't thank y'all enough for supporting us there. Razor Boom, Razor's Edge, B to the Bone, Captain Emo, RAB2784, we have great conversations with, Crimson Studios, Two Purple Switches, Taoist Dragon, and Couple Up.
Yeah, OTK.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks so much, everybody.
OTK?
It's real fun to be able to talk about the videos or the things that we talked about in them in the comments with people. Definitely appreciate that. And I'm going to also go with some more shout outs here. This is I kind of picked out our biggest supporters on Twitter. Like, these are the people that are going out of their way to talk us up, basically, and just really appreciate that, guys. Can't say it enough that y'all know it helps, and we definitely appreciate it. So shouting out Fada, Suspicious Ducks, Captain Emo, Bone B to the Bone, and OTK Magicstick. You guys are definitely rocking it for us, representing out there on Twitter, and we definitely appreciate it.
Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
Y'all are great.
All right, everybody. And now it is my pleasure to present to you the guys from Digital and Dice. Welcome, guys.
Hey, thank you.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves, because I am terrible with names, except for Sound Guy Steve. That's all I remember.
You'll be happy about that. I'm voiceover guy Brian, and this is I am your host Mark of Digital and Dice.
Yeah, welcome.
Love it.
So I've been listening to your guys' podcast since you were on our show way back in January, and I just
the old days.
It makes my drive so much easier just listening to you guys.
We're glad.
I'm still going through your current one. It's about cinematic magic.
Oh yeah.
I'm just listening to that, but man, I was so glad I was listening to the one about backstories, and you were talking about the most cliched backstories, and it was
my parents were cute.
It was the perfect timing because I had to write a backstory for a new character, and I was like, well, let's see, both my parents are dead, and I'm just an orphan, and I'm like, no, and then I listened to your podcast, and I'm like, I'll use XGEs, roll the tables, and just make up something really random.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I definitely love your guys' podcast. I really do.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I second that. I do a lot of driving at work, so I can listen to a lot of podcasts, and you guys have made it to the Must Listen Weekly podcast for me, too.
Yep, absolutely.
I was saying, like, I'm a super new DM. Like, I'm 2 sessions into my first ever game of DMing, and I just love your D&D 201 stuff. To me, like, literally every show that I listen to, I take something away from it that I'm going to use in my game. So it's awesome for the level that I'm at right now, where I've read through all the books, I played a couple adventures, and you guys just introduced me to things that I haven't even started to think of yet. So it's super awesome to me. These guys are kind of some vets, but me being new at it, I've really been enjoying it. So thank you.
Oh, you are more than welcome. Thank you for listening. We love it.
And help us get more people to enjoy. That's one of the big reasons why we do it. So
yeah,
absolutely. Y'all are starting to sneak in. You know, I've been a diehard web DM and Taking 20 fans.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all are starting to creep into that area for me as a go-to. The thing that I like a lot is the monster show that you do. I forgot what the name of it is.
Yeah.
Yes. That Russian sleep experiment episode.
The most Russian of sleep experiments, yes.
Yeah, no, I love like urban lore and stuff like that, urban myths. So that's fucking perfect, man. I dig it.
Well, thank you. That was Justin's brainchild. He's very proud of it.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So, you guys had been on the show maybe 2-3 months ago. Dirk kind of alluded to Creature Pasta. I know since I've been listening to you that you do a lot more than just that one show. Do you kind of want to break out everything? I know you've got some new things going on, and just let our audience know.
The past several months have been ridiculous for us. We've more than doubled in size and download frequency on all of our shows.
Awesome.
We actually moved our podcast host over to Pippa from Libsyn, which gave us the ability to have as many shows as we want for iTunes and Stitcher and all the other like RSS feed stuff.
So we went buck wild.
Yeah.
Nice.
We introduced a handful of new shows. So now we have the Digital and Dice Podcast Weekly. We do Hazardous Endeavors, which is our 5th edition actual play podcast, which if you watch it on YouTube, there's animation that I put in.
Right.
For like combat and stuff, but if you listen to it on iTunes, then you just get the full audio experience. And then we have Creature Pasta, which is all about, we talk the first half of the episode about like the origins of a creature or a creepypasta type thing, and then the second half is how you would include it into your Dungeons and Dragons game, Modern Arcana, or whatever setting you're in. And then just recently, one of our more exciting things is we started what's called SGO Files. It's based off of stuff from the No Sleep podcast. And we were lucky enough not only to get Atticus Jackson and Nicole Goodnight, who are voice actors for No Sleep, to do their characters in our inaugural episode, but we have Henry Galli, the author of Mr. Strings and a handful of other short stories on their podcast, who's given us permission to do all of his stuff if we ever want to do it. And we're going to be having him on our live show this coming Wednesday. So we're really excited. We're got some really good collaborations going, and each of the shows is now gaining its own audience and moving up. So
that's awesome, man. Awesome. Congrats and all that. That's really good news.
We're so happy.
I mean, he does most of the work. I just drink things.
We all have workhorses in our groups.
We do.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty well too. I've been keeping up on it, and I've been enjoying it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a lot to keep up with. I almost had a nervous breakdown while DMing, actually.
He did.
Yeah.
I don't remember what sparked it, but it was weird.
It's difficult,
now,
man.
It was totally my real job during the day. Like, it was a lot of change and transitioning and stuff happening, and it just leaked in. It made the DMing thing, like, I don't even know why, but...
No, I feel that, man. Since the last time I talked to you guys, I've actually left a job, was unemployed for about 2 weeks, and then got a new job while still trying to juggle all of the stuff that I got going on.
Right. That is a lot.
I totally feel you on that.
Yeah, I'm at the I'm a family man, and definitely have to. That's a balance. It's hard to hit sometimes, right? Working the day job that's actually paying the bills, and then doing all of our passion projects, and then also not feeling guilty about not spending enough quality time with your people, right?
Hey, 2 days a week is what I do on the podcast. I do everything that we do, all of our shows, all the recording and all the editing in 2 days out of the week. The rest of it is spending time with the wife and hanging out outside of doing stuff. But I give myself 2 evenings, and that is what I dedicate to doing show stuff.
Right.
So that's awesome.
I had to make sure I could fit it all in there.
Compartmentalize.
Yeah,
That's the name
exactly.
of the game.
That is all. Yeah, I feel you. I definitely feel you. I do the editing. I help Nate, and I do all the editing for both our D&D shows that we have going on now, and that takes away. But for me, it's like, oh, I got to do all this stuff, and I'm finishing up school. I'm almost done with my bachelor's, so I've been just crazy with homework and yeah.
Yeah, it's
adding
tough.
some animation into that, and that'll be a time suck as well. Trust me.
I remember you talking about how you started doing your animation, and it was like a train wreck at first, and.
Yep, and then I found a way to streamline it.
Yeah.
So I had to. Necessity being mother of invention and all that.
I think the reason that you're able to do like just the 2-day schedule is because you've gotten enough groundwork done, so pretty much all your editing becomes a lot more streamlined.
Amen.
Sure.
Presets for days.
All right, guys. Well, we got to move along. Thank you so much for joining us. Tell all our people where they can find your stuff.
Absolutely. Well, the best place to start is www.digitalanddice.com. We have links to all of our stuff there. You can listen to all the podcasts on their respective page, as well as our new blogger, Draconix Den. You can check him out while we're doing stuff. But you can find us on youtube.com/digitalanddice, at digitalanddice on Twitter, at VoiceOverB on Twitter, and all of our other hosts. So
JThuluPhoto on Twitter.
Yeah.
Steven.
There's all of us on there, but the website has links to all of it. So digitalanddice.com. That is digitalanddice.com.
All right, perfect.
Awesome. Right, perfect.
Love that
Thank you,
fucking
guys.
logo, man.
Well,
I know.
Thanks again, guys. It's been
Hey,
fun.
cheers.
We'll
Thank
do
y'all.
it again sometime.
Absolutely.
All right.
Game on internet.
Game on internet.
Peace.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we got our buddy Omnisek in the house.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What's going on there?
How's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Not bad.
Great.
Doing good.
Living the
You
dream.
guys.
Episode
Living the
100.
dream. Yeah.
Big one. How you guys feel?
I'm buzzed off of that.
Awesome.
Here you go.
Turkey
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Having a
That's
good
awesome.
time. How'd you do on Community Day?
Oh my God, guys, I'm spent right now. And then you know what happened? I happened to look at my clock. Something was itching at the back of my head, and I was like, "Whoa!" At 11 o'clock. I don't know if you saw in the tweet. I was like, "Yo, thank God you gave me a late slot." I had such a full day today. Community Day was packed. It was one of the biggest events, guys. It was like, I don't know if you guys heard of Trainer Tips and Mystic 7. Mystic 7's got like 1.6 or 1.5 mil or something like that. And Trainer Tips got like 600K, something like that. So they're pretty big. In the Pokemon field, you know, like in my field, they have like just, the one guy has great cinematics. The other one's got like great personality. He's young, you know what I mean? And he's got a lot going for himself. So it's really popping. Like they also brought their friend Dark Matter Wolf and DX1. DX1 is out of Philly, and Dark Matter Wolf is also over on the West Coast. But it was incredible, guys. The crowd, you should have seen the crowd, guys. It was bananas. I thought a stampede could have happened if somebody yelled or got a little rambunctious. If there was like a little bit like, you know, in the crowd when you feel that like
Yeah.
Yep.
Felt like that. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a good time, and I definitely have vlogs coming up. I vlogged the whole thing while I was streaming, so it was I had my hands full, so to speak. I was like this.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I mean, I've seen since you were last on our show, you've been doing a lot more Fortnite. I see that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there using the bathroom at 2:30 in the morning, and then there's the notification.
I know, just crazy.
Let's go. Yes, my notifications are going through to somebody.
Oh, I get them all the time.
That's great. That's great to hear, because a lot of people tell me they don't get it. And that's like a thing with YouTube. It's been going on for a while. And also, proud to be interrupter of the midnight run with the notification there. But yeah, Fortnite is big right now. Everybody's into it. It's really popping.
Yeah.
You know, it's a AAA. So I decided to do it, and a couple of people in my field are also doing it. So it made it a little more comfortable for me to do it.
Sure.
Like that, like Mystic 7, he actually does play Fortnite, and that led me to be like, okay, well, some of my fans may like Fortnite as well. So I've been doing that, and my schedules are just crazy, guys. If you don't know what he's talking about, like 2:30 in the morning, sometimes I go at 3 o'clock. I'm on the late night shift. You know, I'm a late night owl.
Yeah, I've seen you on there real late before.
Yeah.
Yes, for
Super
sure.
late.
Yeah, my entire life I have been a night owl since I graduated high school. I've always had like either second or third shift jobs that just had me in that lifestyle. And then the past decade, basically, at this point, the job that I have, like I wake up at 5 in the morning now, and man, every day that's a struggle. And then the weekend comes, and right away I'm back to like up till 3 or 4 in the morning and sleeping until 10 or whatever. And then it's painful. I can't handle the early morning work.
It's so hard. Yep. It's so hard.
You get so used to it. You know, when that somebody said, I don't know, somebody wise, I think his wise words, it said, I'll have plenty of time to sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Be a little strong, but
right.
I connect with something in there.
Yeah, I used to value my sleep big time until I had children, and then ever since then, it's just knocked it out of me. I don't sleep anymore. I used to sleep 10 hours a day every day of my life and loved it. Woke up without an alarm. That's when you live a life where you don't need an alarm to get up. That's like, to me, that's what I'm striving for, to get back to that.
Like, naturally waking up.
Yeah, it just makes life so much better.
I got two myself. I got a 9-month-old and a 3-year-old.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So I know what you're talking about. I know. I definitely say
9 months and 3.
3?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a big boy, guys. He's a big boy. He's already wearing like 12-month-old stuff. Like, you know, lie. He's wearing almost a year. Like these onesies, I gotta buy the 12Ms. You know, no 10, no 9.
You're feeling the burn right now, man.
Yeah, I think he's gonna start walking before he crawls. Honestly, he's a big hefty. He's a hefty boy.
That's awesome.
So, Omni, you got anything else in the pipe? Anything new coming up, or what's your plan going forward here? How can people find you and your stuff right nowadays?
Well, we definitely always are popping, Monday to Sunday with these late night fortnights, and then a bunch of Pokemon go in the middle. Right now, I gotta catch my Mew. I still haven't caught my Mew.
So me neither.
The next big thing on the channel. I did catch my Moltres.
I got the Moltres too.
Oh, you got it too?
But I don't have Mew. I'm on step 5 for Mew.
So let me ask you, like, did you like them bringing the Moltres back? Like, I was like a little if about it, and then
I mean, it's all right. I already got Moltres. I stopped playing for a few months. There's some that I don't have yet, and they released one I already got, so whatever. Need to get that Latios.
No doubt. I just got my Latios today. So we're definitely doing, streams from Monday to Sunday as many as we can squeeze in. So my biggest thing right now is planning out a trip to Japan, guys. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm going big. This is like the biggest thing I've tried to do on the channel. And I do have a lot of support, so I'm super happy, super stoked to embark in the journey. We don't know if we'll make it, but I'm definitely going to try, because I figure you're not going to know if you don't try. If you don't try, then you're definitely not going to go. You know what I'm saying? So I keep it up with that. But
that's awesome. I'd love to go to Japan.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. You know the adventures I'm going to have? I'm going to be having like, I'm going to be like hunting secret card shops, like down alleyways, like those little stores that nobody goes to.
So
what part of Japan? What part of Japan?
It's the I want to say Yokohama.
Yokohama? Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've been there. They got a cool ballpark there.
Really? You've been there? Oh, that's
I was in the Navy for 11 years, and I went to Japan a lot. So Tokyo, you know what? The subways are awesome down there, and they actually have it in English, so you can sort of know where you're going.
So I heard they're like super clean.
Oh yeah, super clean
compared to New York subways. Like you guys are,
oh yeah, I've been there too.
Well, they'll get on board. They'll walk on board the subway, and you'll see them. They'll get on and they'll sit down and they'll fall asleep, and then all of a sudden they'll hit their stop and they'll wake up and stand up and walk off the train.
Wow! Oh my God, it's internal clock. Like they just wake up.
It's really weird, but dude, yeah, Yokohama's fun. I went and saw a ball game there, and actually had like this Boshudokai dojo at the base of the stadium. So you saw dudes practice with swords and shit like that. It was awesome.
Well, that's amazing. That sounds like amazing. For me, this is like a once in a lifetime trip. So I'm treating it like that. I'm like gonna go all out for it. Like I'm probably never gonna be able to travel across the world like that again.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Gotta go all in.
Well, if you're gonna go clubbing, you go to a place called Roppongi, right? And there's a club.
I'm taking notes.
There's a club there. You got to go to Gas Panics.
Gas Panics.
Gas Panics in Roppongi.
Nice. Yeah, I've been to Europe a few times, and I've been to Jamaica. Like, I try and get around as much as I can. I was talking with the wife recently, and yeah, Japan is the next one that I want to hit as well.
Oh,
that's amazing. I've also been to Jamaica with the Wi-Fi. We actually went there for our honeymoon.
Oh, we did too.
It was late. Oh yes,
yeah, we did too. That's when I was there. Yeah, we were in Negril.
Yeah, okay. We were a little north of there, I think.
Okay.
A little north or something like that.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And it's crazy. It's crazy out there. That was amazing. Super lit vacation. It's like crazy. We were a lot younger. You know what I mean? We went into the town with like this cab guy, and he showed us all inside. We went to like this store where they had like all this hand carved woods. You know, I was a carpenter at that time, and I'm into like carvings. You know, people that work with the woods. I respect that, like the craftsmanship. So we stopped in there. This guy's pulling out all kinds of stuff to it. I'm like, I'm here to buy a piece. I'm not.
That's awesome. Yeah, we had similar stories too, man. Locals and hanging out and seeing how life is. It was a great time for sure.
We always talk about going back. It was that good. It's one of those.
Right.
But yeah,
all right, man.
Japan.
Yeah, thanks again, Omni. And
hell yeah.
Before we move on to our next guest, tell everybody where they can find your stuff again.
Yeah. Yo, guys. Well, first of all, I want to say a big old shout out to you guys. Congratulations, you guys. Keep at it. You already know that's what the winners are made of. That's the kind of stuff right there. People that stick by no matter what. And, I can definitely say I've been there too. You know what I mean? You got to keep it up. That's right. And you guys got a nice camaraderie going on here. You can definitely find me. You can definitely find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, all under the same handle, Omnisek. That's OMNISEK. And if you hit me up on there, if you want to get on PlayStation, network, then hit me through the media, and then we'll decide if you want to hook up for some Fortnite. But guys, we do streaming from Monday to Sunday. We got a bunch of Pokemon Go content, Fortnite content, and we keep it lit and popping, guys.
Nice.
That's about it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Hey, I'll hit you up on the PlayStation soon. We might be. I might be interested in maybe playing some Fortnite tonight. To be honest,
I might try
a little bit later on.
Also, hit me up because I may be having one after this shindig is done. People hit me up and want me to get on, so I'll probably get on.
All right, sounds good, man. Well, thanks for joining us, man. It's always good to have you.
Yo, you guys are awesome.
Thanks, Omni.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
See you later,
man.
Getting towards the end here. Chad's with us. Chad from Scary Thoughts. How you doing, Chad?
I've been waiting all day for this. Just next to Skype.
How's everything going? How's the podcast?
It's going all right, man. I would tell anyone wanting to start a podcast of their own to not pick an incredibly niche subject. Right. If they want it to grow. So we've basically, I think, topped out where we're going to be at until one of us gets like an academic position someplace. But since I'm addicted to tech job money, that's not happening for me. And then I think Mark is more of a creature of the night and enjoys his bartender life. So that's probably not going to happen for him. So we're basically stuck at our core group of super loyal but small fans.
Sure. The super loyal side of that can be fun though, right? It makes the hobby like awesome and more than just work,
Yeah, I liken it to sort of being in a punk band that no one goes to see. If you do it, it's fun. You do it, it's a passion project, and then like 5 of your weirdo friends will jump around in front of the stage if you're lucky.
Right? I've been there.
Yeah.
Have you had any experiences like that you weren't expecting from fans at all? Like any curveballs, something you just never thought would happen?
Not really. Almost disappointingly, no. Because our audience is mostly, I would say probably Mark. Well, Mark pulls in the vast majority of our audience, and they're all these, LGBT, genderqueer theorists, and they're all super academic. A lot of people come in from his wife, who's quite famous as a drag performer, and I just keep expecting them to have some sort of problem with me, and it just never happens. And I'm always like beating it up, talking some sort of horrible shit. I mean, it's pretty well known that I'm like a gun crazy libertarian and have, you know, I'm against equality and all this other crazy shit. And they like, I'm just basically their Larry the Cable Guy, I think.
Sure, that's funny. That's funny. I have wondered about that because you're not afraid to lean into that in the middle of the show and whatnot. We jump and get a little political, right? And right away we're like, oh no, pause, like
sanitize.
Yeah.
Wow.
I appreciate
Nate does.
your honesty about it, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's real.
I don't think they think I'm serious. I think it's part of it because I'm like probably as well read, if not more well read, on a lot of these like weird feminist and, you know, gender theory texts. As a lot of them are, because a lot of it was what I had to study in college, and so like I think that they just don't believe that someone could read and enjoy that stuff, but also be into machine guns.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I did just want to ask you, since the last time you were on our show, we've been just kind of catching up with people and whatnot. You know, you guys have clearly been chugging along. I liked recently. I kind of binge you guys. Like, I don't want to get spoilers about things, so I'll kind of wait and then watch a movie and come back and watch it. Recently listened to the Black Metal show and the Scooby Doo show.
Oh,
both of those ones.
It's a Black Metal show.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the best part of the Black Metal episode is for sure our guest, Andy Connors, rather, sorry. I mean, and that dude, he put together, he was like, oh, I'll put together a little listening list for you guys. He put together a 14-hour Spotify playlist.
That's amazing.
It is incredible. Like, if you wanted to go from zero to Black Metal expert, you could just listen to that episode and listen to his podcast or listen to his Spotify list and be pretty down the road. And that dude was hilarious because he's like, oh, you know, I'm not really much of an expert, but he like co-owned Aquarius Records, which is one of the more famous obscure music record stores that existed. And he's written something like 30,000 individual record reviews in his life. I mean, just like he owns every Black Metal album you would want to have, even all the stupid cassette tapes and shit that they make. And it's just awesome. Funny to. Yeah, it's just funny to sit down with somebody like that who just doesn't even consider themselves an expert at all. You're like,
I read Lords of Chaos.
Yeah.
And they cover the history of Black Metal. It was fucking enthralling, man. I loved it.
I loved that book too. But apparently that book is sort of like a TMZ level once you're into Andy's level. Like, you know, that story is just it's just the most basic Black Metal story. And I was totally, and in some ways I like the story of Black Metal a little bit more than listening to it.
Sure.
You know, I'm still like Metallica ride or die forever, you know.
Right.
Megadeth.
Yeah, now known as classic rock.
Oh, dude, dad metal is what it's called now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And then the Scooby-Doo episode was a fucking torture. Although
I like that. It was funny, halfway through it, you're like, man, we kind of hit the end of what we can talk about, huh? And Mark's like, yeah. And then you guys went for like 45 more minutes after that.
That's often, like the way we record the show, like there's often that sort of flow because we'll get through our notes and whatever we wanted to talk about and then end up with sort of more of a conversation, which is often the most, like I'd say the back half of each episode is often the more fun part of the episode.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So what else? You got anything else in the pipeline? Is it just doing the day job and doing Scary Thoughts, or?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for now. You know, worked on a book for forever, which, you know, it's when you squeeze that sort of shit into your, you know, 3-hour train commute and whatnot, it's just brutal.
What are you writing? Are you to give us a teaser or whatever?
I got two things going on. One is sort of like I was watching like a Law and Order episode about some dude trying to get a passport and how big of a pain in the ass it was. And I thought, what if you were like Frankenstein's monster and you survived the Arctic part of the book at the very end and like just lived, and if you were some sort of weirdo immortal guy like in Highlander, like how would a person now deal with that, with like all social media? So it's essentially like there's this creature that, you know, is vaguely human. You know, it's basically Frankenstein's monster, but he lives in Oakland. And then it gets in a fist fight that sort of ends up on the World Star, and then it's like how do you maintain anonymity when you're famous for beating the fuck out of somebody? That's
I was kind of seeing that.
And the other thing I kind of worked on is this idea for a haunted house book called The Inconvenience. And it's basically about what happens when like a famous atheist finds himself suddenly living in an explicitly haunted house, but a house that's not just haunted, but it's haunted by cliche-ridden ghosts. So,
Nice.
so it's basically that was like I was laying around super stoned one night, and I was like, man, I wonder what Christopher Hitchens would do if all of a sudden he was in the Poltergeist remake.
That is fucking awesome.
That's funny, Chad, because I consider myself an atheist, and I lived in a haunted house when I was a little kid, and my parents like tell this stories. Like I was very, very young at that time, but I know my parents aren't bullshitting me. You know what I mean? They didn't make it up, and they can tell me about the things that happened. And so it's funny because I'll come up with I've come up with theories about how I can remain an atheist and still kind of believe in the fact that there was a haunted house as well. Like it's funny.
Psychic leftovers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But I mean, part of the fun of the book too is there's like a little bit of that Pascal's wager thing where it's like, okay, supernatural yes, supernatural no, and then supernatural yes, what now? And that's like the basis of game theory, basically.
Right.
It's like, okay, if this then that, and then okay, so what do? Do you get, so I had some ideas for some secondary characters. One is this like terrible startup, which is sort of like imagine if Elon Musk decided to be a Ghostbuster, but had yet to receive Series A funding, and so like that's maybe the first group of people he runs into to solve his dilemma. And then I also have an idea for a priest character that's basically Henry Rollins with a collar.
Nice.
But that shit's just never going to happen because I just work too much and
right.
The steam.
Spitballing.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Podcast is way much more fun and so much more immediate.
Sure, absolutely. All right, well, thanks so much for joining us again. It's been good catching up. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find your stuff?
Yeah, just go over to iTunes, go to Scary Thoughts, and just go in there and listen. And if you like horror movies and reading about terribly boring nihilist literature, it's your show.
I'm a part of that niche group, so yeah, good to go.
All right, guys.
All right, man.
Yeah, thanks, Chad.
All right, we'd like to welcome in from worldbuilding.io, Greg. What's up, Greg?
Congratulations, guys.
What's that?
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, the 100. I mean, if you try to build something at yourself, you know how much love and hard work goes into this. So it's really something. It's the 100. Really nice. Well done. Well
Definitely
done.
appreciate it, man. You're right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time, and it's a passion project for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not something that will make you rich in the end. So it's
man. Maybe we need you as an agent.
So how you been, Greg? What's up?
Great. I had a few very nice days after you guys launched the podcast.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it drew some traffic. So thank you for that.
Well, this should draw some traffic too again.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Did you get the envelope I sent you?
I haven't. I know you asked for the address. It didn't come yet. Yeah. I'll share it in the future if it gets here.
No, don't worry about it. So the Postman Pony Express again. They do it here. If I need to send something to the US or the other way around, it sometimes takes 3 weeks to 4 weeks. So it's
right.
Don't ever send mail to New Orleans either. It will never ever get here. Guarantee you. They confiscate it and throw it in the ditch half the time. So.
Wow.
Greg, you got any new projects or anything? How's the website going? How's everything been since we talked last?
Well, we had I don't know exactly which post went where, but I had a lot of success with the Inkmancer, which is an adventure seed thingy. It went wild for a while, and then it was steadily like the normal traffic rate I get for a post. Well, as you know, some get neglected, which put a lot of
yeah,
right. 2 lines, and everybody likes, this is a great idea, but it's not an idea. I just asked the question.
Yeah.
That's how it is. But yeah, it continues now, and well, I'm actually really happy with it.
Great, man. Yeah, I've been checking
awesome.
in. I'm now DMing my first
He's
game ever.
DMing.
Yeah,
Nate started DMing. Yep.
I'm just trying to suck in everything that I can, and I definitely click through your site, at least a few times a month, just to see what new is popping on there. So it's cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations and good luck. It's a lot of work, but well, I still do it for I don't know how many years now. Long. I was 12, 13 when I picked up the first book. And I'm Dutch speaking, by the way, so mommy went like, you can't read this in English, so well, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I before these guys got me to do it again, it had been a long time since I had DM'd. I hadn't DM'd since 2nd edition, but strangely enough, I DM'd Ravenloft back then.
Yeah.
So, and Al-Qadim, which I would love to play again, but the
oh, it was nice, yeah.
Yeah, I loved Al-Qadim, man. That was the for the viewers that don't know, it was a 2nd edition campaign setting set in like Alibaba, ancient Middle East lore.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Flying carpets and like curved swords.
Genies. Yeah, scimitars, genies, all that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
That sounds
and the systems did get better.
Yeah.
If you played 2nd edition, it was like, well, guys.
Sacco. That's all you gotta say. Jeff knows about that.
It's funny. That's what I was just recently talking with Dirk about that. Like, for me, somebody who jumped in for 5th edition, and then I was just kind of picking his brain about like, wait, so how did this happen back then? And like, I'm blown away by how different it is. It's really crazy.
Yeah. No, there's a joke. Nobody grappled because the rules were simply too complicated. So can I grapple him? Yeah, but yeah.
That's what it was. I was telling Nate, I felt like they did that on purpose. Like they were trying to narrow their core audience or something, and they were like, oh, how are we gonna like complicate it even more so that we just have like these certain people? Because that it was at the point. I mean, I remember like all the classes leveling up differently. I mean, how crazy was that? Just tons of stuff like that.
Greg, they had a lot of.
I'm sorry, the last time you were on the show, you were talking about how you currently don't play 5th edition because everybody had the old books. Like, what edition are you playing still right now?
3.5.
It is 3.5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
The Pathfinder edition.
Yeah. Just before Pathfinder edition. Yeah. It's,
yeah.
When the community, when they made 4th edition, and then actually I told the guys we're gonna try 4th. So we tried 4th. We came back very quickly. I'm not gonna bash 4th. It's not something. I mean, for some people it was probably a good addition. For us, it wasn't. Then Pathfinder came as a reaction because, well, a lot of people went back to the 3.5.
Yeah.
And now I can't motivate them to go to the 5th because they said, well, we tried another edition already. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dirk and Jeff, what do you guys think about like the switch from 3.5 to 5? Is it?
Well,
yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
I mean, I quit playing after 2nd edition because 2nd edition ran for so long, and then other stuff in life just came up, and so it sort of fell off the radar. And it really wasn't until you put out that invite about starting up D&D that I started researching it again. And I'm like, what edition are we on? They're like 5. I'm like, holy, where have I been? Under a rock?
He's a 2 to 5er.
I was like,
2 to 5er there.
So it was a complete, just brand new experience for me in a way, jumping into 5 and from 2. It was. I got to find all my second edition stuff because I have like this much.
It's so good. Listen, for all my beef with how complicated 2E was, like it is untouchable in terms of content and like campaign, like source books, just the lore. They spent so much time and money and output on second edition that it makes like 5E to me clearly has the better system.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to marry like the lore of 2E with the system of 5E. You know?
Well, you can.
Yeah, I mean, there are conversion. You know, there's conversions out there, but you got to sit there and do the work. I mean, you got to update everything and.
No, you use Greg's system to help bridge that gap. He gets all the benefits. That's what you do.
I only played 3.5 once. Somebody did Dark Sun, and I played 3.5. I don't remember it being. I mean, I thought it was good. It was solid from what I remember. Yeah.
The perfect word is solid. It's not really easy. It's not the best system either, but it's solid. It's for the first time everything really worked smoothly. And
absolutely. Yeah, I think with 5e they made a push to make it player friendly in a lot of ways. Not just for entry level people, but also you can level up super fucking fast in 5th edition. I mean, they make it like your players can be gods very quickly.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That is, to the new Dungeon Masters, that is a problem.
Yes.
Right.
That's what I run into with these fools.
We're too strong. So, Greg, before we kind of wrap up, could you kind of maybe just walk through for the audience if they didn't see you the first time around, you know, talk about your website a little bit and then where people can find it, things like that?
Sure, thanks. Yeah. I built worldbuilding.io, which is the last version of, some of you may know, worldbuildersin.com. Worldbuildersin was the first website I built, but nobody found it, so I bought a better URL, which was worldbuilding.io. I did a rewrite. The site features a bunch of adventure seeds, a bunch of things I learned the hard way, which you can read up on, so you don't have to. And I do a bunch of summaries of big dungeon masters out there. So they post YouTube, I filter through it, and then try to summarize it so it's and find where they align and where they discuss and where they and that's and you can all find it at worldbuilding.io.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, we definitely recommend it. It's one we check out here on the show.
Yeah, sure.
One of our favorites.
All right, Greg. Well, thanks for waking up so early and joining us again. We really appreciate it. Always good to have you on. We'll do it again in the future for sure.
At least it's not 5 a.m.
Right. Thanks, Greg.
Have a good day, Greg.
Yeah, have a nice day.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Here.
Well, that was great, huh, guys?
Ooh, wow.
Sweet.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
thoroughly
session. Not too many technical difficulties.
No.
Lumberjack was the only one.
Chat a little bit too. Yeah, but thanks so much, everybody, for watching. This has been Comically Gaming 100. Brought a tear to my eye with all these wonderful people that support us and want to be on our show.
Yeah, sure.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's great. I really have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's the highlight of my week every week. So
I think this one feels like it was faster than our normal show. I really do. It was longer, but it was fast. Oh my gosh.
Because it kept you entertained. It was nice seeing everybody too.
It was. It was awesome to have that many people that
I feel like I'm really part of a sitcom.
he'll answer the call.
Yeah.
Corey, how's the temperature in the house?
It's freezing.
You got a blanket on your wait. You got a blanket on your legs?
I'm playing with my sack.
All right, everybody. But next week, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Who do we have next week? What do we got?
Next week is Walking Dead wrap up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep, season finale is tonight.
That's a closer episode, right?
Probably because you guys don't watch. You're not current on Walking Dead.
Yeah, Mom and Dad on. Mom was texting me about it earlier.
There you go.
All right.
That'll be awesome.
There you go.
And I guess we spent. Oh no, we did talk about Legion. I was gonna say we spent the whole show without talking about Legion. I wanted to say Legion was awesome again, but yeah.
I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah. Yep. Watch it.
Watch
Dude,
Watch it.
you need to watch that shit. Damn. All right, everybody.
All right.
Thanks for doing this,
been
guys.
beautiful.
Really appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it.
We're not worthy.
As always, thank you to Fred Thomas for opening music and C Rider for our logo.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Thinking fast on his feet there. Later, everybody.
Later.
100.